Hello, everyone. My name is Nekme Obasoge. We are back again with our political analysis on Nebo TV, and today I have with me in the studio Mr. Daniel Edokolo Obakozuwa, all the way from Benin City. Thank you, Mr. Daniel, for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So there's a breaking news that election tribunal nullified Bayelsa State election that was held almost a year ago. So
Yes.
what's going on in Nigeria?
Well, that is the news we had. The tribunal nullifying that election based on the exclusion of a candidate of the ADP, a political party, from the list of the ballot, the papers. The candidate was excluded. So he went to tribunal, and the tribunal has now nullified the election. When an election is nullified of that nature, it is constitutional that 19 days is given for INEC to prepare themselves for a by-election. I think that is why it was written 90 days for them to conduct the election. But that of Bayelsa State is very interesting. The implication of this is that, one, the period of which the present governor is serving is of nothing. If election is conducted again, he wins, it means he's starting all over again within the 4 years. So you can see that it's just like extension of service for him within the democratic period of 4 years. It's going to be extended because once the election is held, the winners declare, he will be sworn in. Two, the APC will not be feeding any candidates in this election. The fresh election does not mean that parties should nominate candidates. It is those who have been cleared. But that of APC, their candidates, due to, according to the law court, was found to have
Credentials,
fraud.
yeah,
Credentials fraud. And as
discrepancies or something.
Yeah, discrepancies. Yeah, that is the word is better. Discrepancy in his papers presented, and they were not disqualified. So they, whatever votes that will be given to them will be cancelled.
Okay.
So
they have been already disqualified from the election.
Yes, by Supreme Court. So it's not feeding a new candidate. It is just those who initially in November 16 that contested are the ones that again will be called. Well, this is another tension because in Nigeria, election is like a it makes the country very tense in that area. More especially Bayelsa. You know, Bayelsa is the richest oil producing state in Nigeria. Is the richest oil producing state in Nigeria. And the tension from that area, the creek, where we have the job people, is very tense. And it's the home state of our former president, Goodluck Jonathan. So we wish them. The interesting thing is that none of the political parties can appeal against that tribunal except INEC, because the fault is not from any of the political parties. It was an error from INEC. So if there's going to be an appeal, it must come from INEC. But we have not had. It happened today. So maybe let's see whether INEC will put their house in order to appeal against the decision for a re-election. But if no appeal is done within 30 days, it means that they will have to prepare for a fresh election within 90 days.
That's what the court said. So another news that just came in about the Edo State House of Assembly approves 3 oil and gas commissioners. What about the Fractional House of Assembly? I'm not sure if it's Fractional House of Assembly or if it's illegal or this. I don't know. will be appropriate for the other side of House of Assembly. Nigeria.
When we want to make news, we always call them factional House of Assembly. A factional
Okay,
House of
fashion.
Assembly, a factional House of Assembly that has no function. Because as long as the governor remains, houses of assembly, their meeting places are known to the citizens of the state. We do not know where they are meeting. They keep coming out with videos sent to the news that they met and certain decisions were taken. Those decisions cannot be binding on the governor, the executive, because they are not authentic. What happened today was the governor sending these 3 names to the House of Assembly for approval. They are presently meeting at the old chamber in government house. That was where houses of assembly were meeting until they built that Inahore complex in Ring Road. So they met and they looked at the list of those 3 nominees from the governor and they approved it. So by this approval, they are going to send word back to the governor that it has been approved. That is the law. So the governor from any moment from now will be swearing in these 3 commissioners. The former commissioners resigned from that position. So the governor has a right to refill them, and that is what happened. Yeah.
Because the positions are not supposed to be vacant like that.
Vacant, yes.
So what is going on in the factional House of Assembly?
That is politics. Just as we said earlier, it was just those came on board, to weaken the strength of the governor, which has not been very possible, but he made him more popular.
Yes.
So they are sitting. We do not know where they are sitting from. They keep sending to press their meeting venues on videos. So we do not know. So none of the decision taken in that house will be binding on the citizens of Edo
State.
Yes. It's not binding at all. They don't have anything. They know that they are illegal. They know that what they are doing is unconstitutional. Just that they have a backup, more especially when these are the kind of things a lot of people says might be happening if, God forbid, if Zeyamo is made the governor. Lawlessness in the state everywhere, which a lot of people will not like. It has happened before, so they know what they are doing is wrong. Just as we discussed in the Zoom meeting, they said they should be arrested. I said, no, they are politicians. They know what they are doing is wrong. And when the chiefs are done, they will hurriedly run by night to start appealing and decamping. That is the attributes of politicians.
So they are sitting there now while the governor is appointing 3 members to fill their previous seat. So they are there. They still consider themselves as the legitimate members of a House of Assembly. And the governor is not doing anything. It's not reacting to what they did. The inauguration, the illegal inauguration.
No. He knows that. He knows that all those things are nonsense. And the governors of the state, and let them be wallowing in their ignorance or stupidity, I would call it.
They are just wasting their time. Only they are not wasting their time. They know what they are doing, because APC might have paid them off for their actions.
Definitely for them going to that extent, somebody is actually
paying them
footing the bill. They are footing the bill. These same members elect who were not meeting for over 180 days, they were all staying in Abuja when Adams Oshomole was national chairman. And I believe that they were being paid from the resources of the party at that time. So definitely there's someone paying their
Yes,
bills for them to
yes.
do what they are doing.
They might have negotiated with them with certain amount of money for someone to quit his position and to come to APC. There must be a negotiation. You know, Nigerians, any Nigerian person will not leave his or her position for nothing. For nothing, just because of democracy. That will never happen. So I think there is a tangible negotiation between them and the APC that led them to decamp to APC, and money must be also included. Huge sum
Definitely.
of money, huge one,
That
huge sum of
don't,
money.
don't, don't forget that one of them is also the deputy governor candidate of Zeyamo. The deputy governor candidate of Zeyamo is part of them.
Okay, the deputy candidate.
Governors, yes, for APC is part of them.
Okay, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yes, this is part of them.
Okay, okay. You can say you say, yeah, I'm right, 100% right with what I just said. You see, that's what I'm saying. So he decame and became the deputy to Zeyamu candidate, deputy candidate to Zeyamu. Correct.
He is part of the House members elect that did not
Appear
show up
inauguration
for swearing.
last year.
Yes, yes.
You see what I'm talking about? I'm right. So all these people, they know what they are doing. There is money. APC right now, they have money. They have money, and they believe that the only way they can get popularity is to use money to buy supporters, and it's not going to work. The most democracy must strive in Nigeria, in Edo State, in this next election, because all eyes on Edo State election. Governor
Uh,
Obaseki winning this election, it will shape democracy in Nigeria as a whole. That is why all eyes on Edo State election, not only in Nigeria, international communities are all monitoring this next election in Edo State. Okay, it's going to be a kind of a precedent, like what I said the other day for the country. Edo State election, honestly, with what is going on right now, you can predict that this election is going to make history in Nigeria, the history of democracy in Nigeria. Mr. Daniel,
yeah.
this issue of Bayelsa State election, you know why I'm very concerned about this? There's a parable in Benin that says, if someone beat up your friend, do not say it's not your problem, because the same thing can also happen to you. So this issue of election tribunal canceling the election that was held for almost 1 year, don't you think same thing can happen in Edo State as well?
No, well, I don't. We are not envisaging that in those states. What happened in Bayelsa is error of INEC, not any political party. They excluded that candidate. Presently in Edo State, I know of a party led by one young lady who is also contesting in this present one. Is in court that she has been excluded from when she has met it. She went to court, and I hope this should serve as a lesson to INEC. Is the fault of INEC. The INEC should know that when election is being called in Nigeria, it involves a lot of resources, campaigning and strength. You understand? And they should not be allowing the Nigerians to waste their resources anyhow. And they are not going to foot the bill. For them to have made that error of excluding a candidate who was supposed to have been on the list is really a very bad error on the part of INEC. INEC is to be blamed for that. And I will even believe that this is a good omen for them to watch out
Okay,
that
what about
such
if,
does not repeat itself.
yes, I understand that, Mr. Daniel. What about if this election being conducted at the end of the day, another candidate to the position and became the governor, won the election instead of the PDP that has already
Well,
won the election. What do you
well,
think will be the
well,
prospect of the governor,
no,
this current governor?
I, I don't, I don't see that happening because Bayelsa State is PDP state. Yes, it is true that the election was won by APC. The reason was there was clashes of leadership. It was even alleged that the former president was supporting Leon, the APC candidate. The APC candidate was a PDP member. It was because of the crisis rocking the house. You know, they accused the former Bayelsa state governor of not respecting Jonathan as the leader of the party. And I saw those fashion in support of the good Lord Jonathan, Ebele Jonathan, now left and formed themselves into a strong structure and decamped to APC that eventually uh, took up candidacy in that party and won the election. But as God will have it, error was with their deputy governorship, and that was how the results were cancelled and came back to PDP. It is a PDP state. Bayelsa people, they know what they want. It's just the clash that existed. The only problem I believe is going to envisage, we are not having a new candidate.
Let me
Not
close
is
this
there.
door. Let me close the door.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. As I was saying, it's not an election where we are feeding a new candidate. Those candidates that were initially approved will also contest. One has gone. The candidates of
Are you
APC.
sure, Mr. Daniel? Don't you think
Yes.
APC is behind this court?
The only way APC can come in, if they are not behind it, it's a tribunal matter. I can
Okay.
assure, though we know that they play dirty politics, I am very sure they are not behind this.
Okay.
APC can also come in, but they are not coming in as APC. The only way they can come in is to collapse their structure for one uh, already known candidate. That's
Okay.
what they can do. They can decide to support this same ADP candidate that went to tribunal to asking for a cancellation of the election. So that's the only way you can see them. But I am very sure they are not behind this. This is
Okay.
law. It is the fault of
Okay.
INEC. It's the fault of
Mhm.
INEC on this matter. And that is why none of the political parties can go to court for appeal.
Okay. So, which means federal might will not strive in this
No, 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 no,
election.
no, not at all, not at all.
Okay. Solidly backed by the presidency. That's the federal government that we are talking
No,
about right now. That, yeah,
well,
yeah.
I don't think they are
No.
back. This is a tribunal thing. When you see their hand, we always, there's one thing in politics. When you see somebody's hand in it, you will definitely identify it immediately. This was error from INEC. INEC made a very big error of excluding that man. And he went, and by right, he is a citizen of Nigeria. He has every right to contest if he has not been disqualified. So why did you exclude him from the ballot papers? And that is where the fault is. It's not part of this, not the charity Jasper just made that INEC and the security operators are working secretly for APC. Let us not make comments that we don't have evidence to prove. Yes, we know that APC in Edo State is always working. Even their statement tells you that we know the PDP has a crowd. They will also go. They will be the one in government. But those days are gone. The PDP will not be sleeping to watch them do that. The only prayer we all pray for, we have that free, fair, and credible election. There are some states where the security tricks by APC have been defeated. We can name states like Rivers State, Benue State, Sokoto State, and which others? You understand? Benue in
Mm.
PDP State, Benue's Rivers, and Sokoto.
Reverse. Mm. Yeah.
So if they can, that was why in the last yesterday's talk, I said that Obaseki can learn a lot from this governor how
Yeah.
they do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's leave it. Let's continue to pray because I also believe as a Christian,
Mm.
prayer changes things. So we continue to pray for a free, fair, and credible election.
Yes.
Why the campaign organization of the PDP should not fold their hands that they are getting the crowd. They should also map out their own strategy in
Mm.
case of eventuality, so that at the end of the day, results will be declared in their favor.
But the desperation among the APC members, Oshomole and Isaiyamu, is too obvious in the state. It's so
Well,
obvious.
in politics, there's always desperation. If you decide to come into politics, you should be ready to fight to win. So what they are doing is not new in politics. There was a news there's a news they sent to me today that
Mm.
Adas Oshomole was summoned to Aso Rock this morning or this afternoon, and that is presently meeting with the president. Don't forget that the DG of Governors Forum of APC
Mm.
accused Adams Oshomole about 2 days ago that he's going to be the greatest problem and that APC will have to lose. In fact, the DG predicted that APC is already losing Edo State. That
Oh.
Oshomole, yes, Oshomole should be cautioned. It
Mm.
was a press statement he released
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
Oshomole is cautioned, should be cautioned, and should be prevented not to be saying anything where the candidate of the APC is going. That is a problem to the party. Yes, whether that was the reason he's been summoned to Aso Rock, we do not know. But I have a reliable source today that he has been summoned. He's presently meeting with Buhari. So let's see how it goes on that issue.
Who summons me?
The president, I believe, is holding a meeting with the president right now. You know, the DG APC Governors Forum was very bitter about it, that Oshomole is making them lose the election by their analysis.
Yeah, because of the disqualification of Governor Obaseki, that is why APC is losing Edo State. I wish he allowed Governor Obaseki to run under the APC. You see this crowd, this big crowd that Obaseki is accumulating in Edo State now would have been under APC.
Security threat. Edo people, both at home and the diaspora, continue to pray for a peaceful, free, fair, and credible election. I think it will do us good. I believe, because Edo people are determined to vote and to vote for their choice.
Let me
So
pull out this
let's.
question for you. Let me pull out this question. It's very important from someone very important.
Mm. My brother Clarence, just as you are saying, how can there be when there are current security threat? But I still believe that there's prayer. If you are a Christian, you know, you have read a lot of revelation about what prayers can do. So let us continue to pray, and these questions should have been directed to the general campaign team of Obaseki. You know, their committee, their council. How are they going to muzzle? But the National Campaign Council, Wike, is an expert. Is an expert in this aspect. He's an expert. So we do hope that he's going to bring his expertise to play on this. Yes, APC is government, we know. Everybody knows that APC does not, non-election since they came on board is conducted on a free and fair. But there are some states, just as I've mentioned, that have defeated them. Bayelsa can be, Rivers can be mentioned, Benue can be mentioned. You understand? So
Yeah.
Edo should be determined. Edo should be determined. Sokoto was even mentioned. Tambuwa left a PDP for APC for PDP and won. The Benue State governor left APC for PDP and won. Wike's security, 3 days to the election, Wike's security details were withdrawn from him.
Yeah.
It was the jaws in Rivers that stood their ground and protected him all through the election. Civilians stood by him to protect him all through the election. So we know we will definitely have that, to come. So it is a war for the campaign council of Obaseki to really work extra, plan out their strategy on how they are going to work with Wike, take ideas from Tambuwa and the Benue State governor. At the end of the day, the goals will be theirs.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mr. Danny. I think we have to end this show like this, and we'll come back again. Is there any breaking news going on in Nigeria? Nothing much.
Well, now, apart from the one I just told you that Oshomole has been summoned to Aso Rock and is presently, we do not know the reason why he's been summoned, but just 2-3 days ago, the DG APC Governors Forum was very